What's up, guys? I know you guys talked with Robert earlier today, so I'm sure you only have one or two for me. So, good to be here. I know Robert touched on it. We had 2 great days of meeting with our coaching staff, getting their input on free agency. And obviously, a lot of work to be done this week, a lot of conversations to be had, and a lot of information to gather. But I know you guys got questions, so fire away. Look, I would say there's a lot of different avenues, a lot of different tools to improve your roster. Free agency is one of those tools, and so I think we have a good opportunity. We have assets that we've acquired. We have financial flexibility. So again, there's a lot of conversations that need to be had in the next coming days and weeks before this kicks off. But we're gonna get this team better any avenue we can.
Joe, I know in the past you've talked about wanting to maintain that financial flexibility. Does your thought on that change at all as you get closer to being competitive, or is that something you always want to do?
I think we always want to be financially flexible. We always want the opportunity to strike if the right opportunity presents itself. So I think that is something that we're going to be looking to do moving forward. Again, I'd say those are conversations we're going to be having here in the next days and weeks leading up to the start of the league year. But again, we still have to talk to not only more with our staff, but also agents.
How much of a priority will it be for you guys to have more weapons for the development of Zach?
In terms of developing Zach, and I'm going to piggyback a little bit what Robert said today. I think there's a lot of ways that we can help our young quarterback, and I think you saw it this year. I think when a young quarterback's playing with a 14-point lead versus trying to come back from a 14-point deficit, if we can put pieces around him to make sure that he has a lead instead of playing from behind, young quarterbacks are going to be in better position to succeed. So, obviously, one avenue to help the quarterback is playmakers, right? It's the weapons, it's the wide receivers, it's the tight ends, it's the backs, but there's also the other ways to help it, which is a good solid defense to get him the ball back as often as he can.
When it comes to playmakers, we had talked to you a little bit right after the season about trading some draft assets and good players. How do you weigh getting a player at a skill position that can help Zach right now as a veteran or something like that compared to somebody who can draft that maybe you're not going to get the best of that player?
Yeah, no, those are discussions that we have to have, and so obviously when you're watching a pro player, it's apples to apples. You're watching him go against the best players in the world versus a college player, where you're seeing him playing against guys that may not be playing on Sundays. So pro scouting gives you that opportunity where you're really seeing them. Like I said, apples to apples. So there is a little bit more certainty when you're talking about the pro player market versus the draft market, and so I think that's why you see volatility in the draft. But again, like I said earlier, if the right opportunity presents itself in the trade market, we're ready to strike.
So every year you all season is important. January, you have to.
Look, I mean, like I said this before, but every time I walk into the building, every time I step foot into Lucas Oil, there's pressure that comes, inherent pressure that comes with this job, and you're always thinking about getting this organization better. And like I said, when I talked to you guys after the season, 4 wins, it's not good enough, and so we have a lot of work to do. And so I feel like we approach this off season with the same intensity and focus that we approached last off season. So this is my 3rd off season and second off season to work with Coach Solid and staff, and the work that we've done last year, the work that we've done leading up to this off season. There's been a lot of trust, and so I'm just excited to get this thing going. I can't wait for the start of the league year. I think our offensive line is in a better place now. I think If you ask me, I'm always going to say we can be better on the offensive line. But I thought we had a group of guys that battled their butts off this year. I think we have a lot of versatility in that group, and a lot of good people, a lot of great guys, great pros, and again, guys that have been forced to move different positions in season, in game. So their flexibility, their versatility, it's really been a great tool for us moving forward. But like Coach and I have always said, offense and defensive line is always going to be a priority here. Yeah, this is a really good draft in terms of the depth of pass rushers, D line, offensive line. You can say even wide receiver, tight ends. This is a good draft. So the opportunity to get any player that we feel can come in here and improve our roster, help our team on a team-friendly deal, a draft contract. It's a huge thing, and it's a great opportunity with us. Currently, with picks 4 or 10, and then 4 picks in the top 40, we have a real opportunity to add 4 dynamic difference makers to this team.
Joe asked Robert this earlier, but curious his philosophy. Drafting is in the top 10. Is that something you'd be opposed to, or you're open?
Yeah, no, and I love Coach's answer, and so, I where I've come from, it's you take the best player available, and had a lot of success being around that mindset and that philosophy. And so if there is a player, regardless of position, that we feel can come in here and be that type of difference maker, we need to talk about it and have that discussion. And at the end of the day, we're going to bring in the player that we feel is the best fit for the Jets, not only as a player, but as a person, competitor, character fit.
Hey, Joe, with the benefit of time after the season short goes down into that, what did you see from him as the season went on? And did you see enough to be convinced that he was really a hot guy?
Yeah, so from the first half of the season to when he came back from injury, what I saw from Zach is I saw his confidence go up. I saw, and I touched on this a little bit at our in-the-season meeting, that the way that he protected the ball, the way that he executed the offense with confidence. And let's face it, in the last 3, 4, 5 games, we weren't at full strength. We had a lot of guys down. And so for him to play well, take care of the football, put our offense in position to score points, keep our team in a lot of these games down the stretch with often 3rd, 4th, 5th string guys, that showed a lot of grit, a lot of poise, a lot of confidence. The coaching staff, you're asking about the not having the coaching staff here. Sorry, I only caught part of the question. So obviously we had a great kickstart to the offseason with the Senior Bowl. Having that week, and it was an outstanding week, and really hats off to our coaching staff and our college scouting staff for coming together and getting great insight. And I know a lot of you guys were down there as well. We had to adjust our February schedule a little bit, and so look, I'm in total agreement with Coach that this is a great opportunity for them to not only connect with us here virtually, they're part of every meeting that we're part of, and then they're also, it's almost the best of both worlds. They're able to stay back, work on the projects they need to work on as a staff. Really opportunity for them to have max efficiency this week, to not only get the work done that they need to get here, but be a part of every single meeting that we're a part of.
No, I think there's kind of a thought around this specific draft where there's not necessarily 3 or 4 no-down superstars. There's just a lot of really good players. With 2 picks in the top 10, have you given any thought, or are you open to the idea? Do you prefer the idea that maybe you trade back to 4, you trade back to 10, and in this deep class, but maybe not necessarily so top 10, you get even more swings in the first and second?
Yeah, look, we're always open for business. I think in the last 2 drafts, had experience going back and coming up, and so look, if the opportunity is right, we're going to look at we're going to look at every opportunity as it comes, and so if there's an opportunity to trade back, accumulate more picks, more assets, and still be in target range to get the players that we're excited about, of course, we're going to consider that. Oh man, I mean, young MC's the dude. He's the evaluation on him, unbelievable contact balance, great feet, lateral agility. He's a weapon out of the backfield in the passing game. Really good hands. One of the more elusive running backs coming out in the draft last year. In terms of optimal carries, touches, I think that's dictated on a game-by-game basis by our staff. And I think this offense has had a lot of success with a really strong rotation. But we love Michael.
So you talked about building through the line. Look at the way the Bengals did it in offensive line that really was the strength of that team, and relying on skill guys with talent. Does it change the way you look at it all, or reevaluate the way you look at it?
Yeah, I think you look at any team that has success, you become inquisitive and you want to know the whys, and you kind of dig into okay, they did this, and what opportunities that they made the most of. So I think Coach said it. There's a lot of different ways to skin a cat in terms of roster building. It's just what your core philosophy is at the end of the day. I think you've seen teams have success devoting a lot to skill early. I think, and by the way, I think Cincy did a great job in free agency last year as well, and they didn't blow the doors off in terms of signing super high-priced guys. They brought in guys that fit exactly what they wanted to do. You look at teams like Buffalo, and you look at teams like the Rams, who obviously traded a lot of picks to get to where they were. And so, I think the constant theme was building around a young quarterback or adding the quarterback, and the best way to go about helping that quarterback. So I think that's the constant theme, but there's a lot of different ways to do it.
A couple more. Where does Denzel Mims fit in this offense with all the fresh faces at the wide receiver position? Just kind of
Yeah.
seems like the ship sailed on Denzel.
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I'd say with Denzel, obviously documented last year with his bouts with sickness and some injuries, but I know Denzel's attacking this off season. I know he's in great shape. I've had great conversations with his agent. I know he's working his tail off, and I know he's excited to get back here for OTAs and compete with the rest of his teammates. Two-parter on Quinnen? Okay. Sorry, I can't hear you as well.
Do you plan on picking up the option, the fifth-year option? Number two, has there been any conversations with his agent about an extension?
Yeah, had a good opportunity to get with Nicole at the combine. Had a productive conversation with her. As of right now, we are going to pick up Quinnen's option, and we had that conversation. I don't think that's really huge news, but we are going to pick up that option moving forward. And look, we're excited to have Quinnen. This is going to be year two in a defense that we feel really accentuates his strengths, his positives, and looking forward to for him to come back and dominate this offseason and have a great year.
How aggressive will you be in trying to re-sign Braxton Berrios?
So with Braxton, again, had some good conversations with his representation, Drew, and we're going to have more conversations. And so obviously Braxton has been awesome since we brought him in, and he's an asset to this team. And for us, it's going to be it's important to keep the guys that do things the right way and carry themselves the right way. So. The biggest deterrent on quarterbacks? Well, look, I mean, the things that you're always trying to look for. Obviously, you're looking for leadership. You're looking for mental, physical, psychological toughness. You got to have a certain amount of ruggedness psychologically to handle the slings and arrows coming your way when things aren't going well. Obviously, timing, anticipation, accuracy. Those are all the things that we were looking for when we were diving into the quarterback class. And we do it every year, but especially last year. And so, when there is a deficiency in one of those areas, it sends up a flag.
Got time for one more? Last one here.
Evaluating quarterbacks outside of the top 5, top 10, that lessons that can be applied to
I think every circumstance is different when it comes to every player, but especially quarterbacks. In Joe's case, just him coming out in 2008, a lot of people were questioning him, his competitive level for leaving Pittsburgh and going to Delaware. But I think when you dive into the why, just understanding the whys of every single player and why they are where they are, why they've had the success they've had, what motivates them, what kind of competitor they are. I think that's across the landscape of what we do, regardless of position. But I think specifically with Joe, with guys like Tyrod, you've seen a lot of success with quarterbacks taken, sometimes not in the top 5, but just really the why and just how they're wired. I think you look back through the late round quarterbacks that succeed. There's obviously, touching on the last question, there's a certain amount of intense competitiveness. There's a certain amount of physical, mental, psychological toughness that those guys have, not to mention confidence. And obviously when you're not taken high, it creates it sparks a fire in a lot of guys. I think we've seen that.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.